Hello students of class 12. Now in this video we'll be learning about some of the basic web services, like we're going to learn what is www and the other things like hyper HTTP, XML and web scripting, web hosting. All those will come under web services. Okay, so we'll learn one by one. This is also a continuation of the computer networks chapter, children. We also have one more concept in this, which is e-commerce, that I'll do it in the next video. So now we'll learn what www is. As you know, www stands for World Wide Web. So what does it actually do? You can say that this is allowing the documents to be connected to other document by using hypertext links, and also it is enabling the user to search for information by moving from one document to another document. Yes or no? So that is World Wide Web. And next is HTML. So for creating a web page or for designing a web page, we use HTML, and HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And HTML, we have two types. One is HTML and the other one is DHTML. Whereas DHTML stands for Dynamic HTML, where you can have animations and all such things. Yeah, and this HTML is mainly used for designing a web page, and all the coding here will have tags in form of coding, and that is responsible for creating a program. And the next one is XML. As you know, when you create a web page, it is not that you only have images in it, you will also have some text in it and documents in it. So for that we need one language called Extensible Markup Language, which stands for XML, and this is nothing but a set of rules for encoding the documents. So you know what is encoding and decoding. We're going to encode the document in a format that is both human readable and machine readable, that is XML. The next one which we're going to learn about is HTTP. You know what is this HTTP stands for? So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And what is this protocol responsible for? And we already discussed the same thing in the different types of protocol what we have learned, and I'll also tell you what HTTP is now. See, this HTTP is nothing but it is just sending a message from the client, and it's gonna give back the response from the server. So it is also called as a pull protocol. Okay, that is, the client pulls information from the server in very simple words. That is HTTP. And the next one is DNS, which is nothing but domain name system. Whereas the domain name system is nothing where we are able to identify the path or the location of that particular website and where does it actually originate from. So that is with the help of the domain name. Yeah, and usually you can see that this websites, in order to remember the name of the websites, it is very difficult to remember in form of IP address. That is when they give the name of it with the help of the domain name. Say for example .com, .edu, .unv, all these are nothing but domain names. And the next one is URL, whereas URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. Now what is an URL? You can say that every web page and picture, video and web object has a unique URL. Each one has its own URL. And whenever you type that particular URL in the search bar, you're able to view that particular web page. And URL are also sometimes referred to as web address. And examples of URL will be http://www.google.com. That is an example of an URL. And next is about website. So what we call a website? Website is nothing but a collection of web pages. And when you talk about web pages will have their own individual documents in it. And the next definition we're going to learn about is web browsers. So web browser is just acting like a bridge between us and the computer, whereas it's just providing the information whatever we are searching for. And the next one we're going to learn about is the web server. You know what the server is exactly used for, because server will facilitate the sharing of resources in a huge manner, because if you have a lot of computers connected in a network, then the server plays an important role, isn't it? The same way, the web server is going to help us in different ways. We'll see what it is. See, a web server is a computer on which the web pages of your websites are stored. That means there will be millions of web pages of our website will be stored in it. Like the web browser will request the web server, and what the web server will do is it will serve the web page, or that means it is going to provide the information whatever we are searching for in the web browser. That is web server. And next one is web hosting. Web hosting, the meaning of web hosting is once you have done the video, or once you have see, the meaning of hosting a website means making a website available to public worldwide. That means you are not going to restrict the website to anybody. Any service that is going to be stored is being allowed, and it can be accessed by everyone who is present all over the world. That is web hosting, giving access of the website to be accessible by everyone. That is web hosting. And the next one is about scripting languages. See, scripting languages is nothing but whatever language or programming that we do both on the server side and on the client side, then we call it as web scripting. Whatever coding we're going to write, in that it is two types. One is server side scripting and client side scripting. Okay, so there are a few major differences between client side scripting and server side scripting. As you see, the difference between the client side script and the server side script, we'll be the client and the server will be the backend. Okay, so we call ourselves as front end. Whatever we're gonna do the script or whatever coding we're gonna give, we'll be the front end, and in which server it's going to run, that will be the backend. Okay, so that is the difference. And some of the examples of client side scriptings are HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and server-side scripting will be Python, JSP, C and Java. When you compare client-side script with server-side scripts are more secure than the client-side script. And these are some of the basic things about client-side scripts and server-side script. The next we're going to learn about is Web 2.0. And you know what exactly is Web 2.0? We have been using so many applications of this Web 2.0. Like you can see the characteristics of Web 2.0. Users can access rich applications entirely through a browser. So compared to the older version, Web 2.0 is advanced. Like in Web 1.1, it was only read only, but here you can read, write and even collaborate. And Web 1.0 was static, but Web 2.0 is dynamic. In Web 1.0 it is only restricted collaboration, but here you can collaborate with any of the companies or concerns, whatever. Here in Web 1.0, HT is storage platform, but in Web 2.0, web is a storage platform. And software applications were very difficult to be used in Web 1.0, but in 2.0 it is a web itself is acting as a software platform. Yes, and we have so many open sources software. All these are available only in Web 2.0, and all the social networking, everything is an example of Web 2.0. Yes, so students, collectively we have learned about web services in this video. So in the next video I'll be explaining about e-commerce and mobile banking, online transactions. All these I'll discuss with you in the next video. Okay children, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.